Alrighty, today's book is going to be The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. So, I am actually in the midst of reading this book. This is the first YA book, so young adults book, that Elizabeth Acevedo has written. Some other titles that she has written, which are included in our library, are With the Fire on High and Clap When You Land. But this is the first one that is specifically YA. I really like this book so far. It is written in verse form. So instead of being written like a regular prose novel, this is full of short poems. So it makes for a really quick read. Um, I will read the back of the book to you so you can get a good synopsis of what the book is about, and then I'll read the first few pages, the first few poems. Xiomara Batista feels unheard and unable to hide in her Harlem neighborhood, but secretly she pours her dreams and frustrations onto the pages of her notebook like prayers. When she is invited to join her school's slam poetry club, Xiomara doesn't know how she could ever attend without her religious mommy finding out. But even so, in the face of a world that would many may not want to hear her, Xiomara refuses to be silent. This is called The Poet X. Part 1. In the beginning was the Word. Friday, August 24th. Stoop sitting. The summer is made for stoop sitting, and since it's the last week before school starts, Harlem is opening its eyes to September. I scope out this block I've always called home. Watch the old church ladies, chancletas flapping against the pavement, their mouths letting loose a train of island Spanish as they spread he said, she said. Peep Papote from down the block as he opens the fire hydrant so the little kids have a sprinkler to run through. Listen to honking cabs with bachata blaring from their open windows, complete with basketballs echoing from the little park. Laugh at the viejos, my father not included, finishing their dominoes tournament with hard slaps and yells of Capicu. Shake my head as even the drug dealers posted up near the building smile more in the summer, their hard scowls softening into glue-eyed stares in the direction of the girls in summer dresses and short shorts. Ayo, Xiomara, you need to start wearing dresses like that. Shit, you be wiped up before going back to school, especially knowing all you church girls are freaks. But I ignore their taunts, enjoy this last bit of freedom, and wait for the long shadows to tell me when mommy is almost home from work, when it's time to sneak upstairs. The next is called Unhideable. I am unhideable. Taller than even my father, with what mommy has always says was a little too much body for such a young girl. I am the baby fat that settled into D cups and swinging hips so that the boys who called me a whale in middle school now ask them to send me pictures of myself in a thong. The other girls call me conceited, ho, thought, fast. When your body takes up more room than your voice, you are always the target of well-aimed rumors, which is why I let my knuckles talk for me, which is why I learned to shrug when my name was replaced by insults. I've forced my skin just as thick as I am. So you can see Xiomara is having a little bit of an internal conflict with her growing body and the way that it's kind of causing her unwanted attention. This one's called Mira Muchacha. Mira muchacha is my mommy's favorite way to start a sentence, and I know I've already done something wrong when she hits me with, look, girl. This time it's mira muchacha. Marina from across the street told me you were on the stoop again talking to los vendedores. Those are the sellers, the drug dealers. That's who she's referring to. Like usual, I bite my tongue and don't correct her because I hadn't been talking to the drug dealers. They'd been talking to me. But she says she doesn't want any conversation between me and those boys, or any boys at all. And she better not hear about me hanging out like a wet shirt on a clothesline just waiting to be worn, or she would go ahead and be the one to wring my neck. Oíste? You hear? She asks, but walks away before I can answer. Sometimes I want to tell her, the only person in this house who isn't heard is me. Names. I'm the only one in my family without a biblical name. Ziamara isn't even Dominican. I know because I Googled it. It means one who is ready for war. And truth be told, that description is about right. Because I even tried to come into the world in a fighting stance, feet first. Had to be cut out of mommy after she'd given birth to my twin brother, Xavier, just fine. And my name labors out of some people's mouths in that same awkward and painful way, until I have to slowly say, Xiomara. I've learned not to flinch the first day of school as teachers get stuck stupid trying to figure it out. Mommy says she thought it was a saint's name, gave me this gift of battle, and now curses how well I live up to it. My parents probably wanted a girl who would sit in the pews wearing pretty florals and a soft smile. They got combat boots and a mouth silent until it's sharp as an island machete. The first words, and this is the last one I'll read. Pero tú no eres fácil is a phrase I've heard my whole life. When I come home with my knuckles scraped up, pero tú no eres fácil. When I don't wash the dishes quickly enough or when I forget to scrub the tub, pero tú no eres fácil. Sometimes it's a good thing when I do well on an exam or the rare time I get an award. Pero tú no eres fácil. When my mother's pregnancy was difficult and it was all because of me, because I was turned around and they thought I would die or worse, that I would kill her. So they held a prayer circle at church. And even Father Sean showed up at the emergency room. Father Sean, who had held my mother's hand as she labored me into the world and Poppy paced behind the doctor, who said this was the most difficult birth she'd been a part of, but instead of dying, I came out wailing, waving my tiny fists, and the first thing Poppy said, the first words I ever heard, pero tú no eres fácil. You sure ain't an easy one. So I've loved this book so far, partially because I think I see a little bit of myself in Xiomara. Maybe you do too. Even if you don't necessarily see yourself in her, this is an awesome read, a quick read, beautiful. So I highly recommend it. Check it out.